What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com, coming back to you with another video. Cold day in Connecticut. Just enjoying a little coffee right now and getting ready to run a couple of errands. But I wanted to make a video updating my progress from my business, and I wanted to share 5 lessons that I learned scaling my eBay to Amazon business to $50,000. I'm going to hit that today. I'm at like 49,500, but I've been doing like $2,000 a day. So I know I'm going to hit it probably within the next couple of hours. So if you are following me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm sure I'll put a post and an update. It's been a really crazy year. It's been exciting. And I remember what was I doing in the beginning of the year? Like $5,000 or $10,000 a month. And it was mostly thrifting, and it was garage sales and flea markets and auctions. And this year, things just blew up. Things just went wild. And one of the lessons that I learned, this is outside of the 5, but I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, is when you find a really good opportunity, I'm talking something that's extraordinary, right? It's extraordinary. It's outside of the ordinary. It's not normal. And I've been in business for the last 8 years, and I feel like maybe I've had 3 or 4 really big opportunities come my way. One of my regrets in the past is I wouldn't pounce on them. I wouldn't double down on them. And I think a lot of it was just being conservative, or I didn't want to have all my eggs in one basket. And I'm still that way, but the point I'm trying to make is I just went all in on this opportunity in 2022, and I'm super pumped up. Just about to hit 50,000 in sales, and we got Angela in the house. She's actually getting ready to start flipping from eBay to Amazon as well. I know she's in the masterclass, and I'm sure she'll be attending my upcoming webinar as well. But there's a lot of opportunities out there, and I wanted to share, these 5 biggest lessons from my eBay to Amazon business. And if you're not sure what this is, like, what am I doing? Am I drop shipping, or am I doing wholesale, or what the heck am I doing? I'll tell it to you very simply. It's just like thrifting. It's just like going to a Goodwill. It's just like going to a garage sale. There's no difference. The only difference is I'm sourcing my items on ebay.com. That's it. It's the same process. I unbox everything. I inspect it. I list it. I price it. I condition it. I put them in a box. I ship them to Amazon FBA. The eBay to Amazon method that I teach and that I've been doing in 2022, this whole entire year after my accident, and I really, I just went fully into this. The number one thing that I do, which made a big difference, is I'm able to scale a ton of inventory from eBay. Whereas when I would go to a thrift store or a garage sale, I would only be able to source what was there, what was available, right? When you have a marketplace like eBay, and this could apply for Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, I've just chosen eBay, you have millions of products every single day that you could source from. And guess what? Every day the game restarts. There's new people listing and selling and opportunities. And it's similar to thrift stores, right? Who here has gone to a thrift store and picked up an item that was just insanely low priced, and you're like, what the heck? I'm going to make 20, 30, 40 bucks on this. This happens on eBay all day long. Things fall through the cracks. There's newbie sellers. There's people who don't know what they're doing. And also, there's a difference. Like, why does a FUBU shoe sell for 50 bucks, but then a Nike shoe that's like almost the same thing sells for 100? A lot of it has to do with brand and, people's perception of value. And it's the same thing with eBay to Amazon. A lot of items just sell for less on eBay and sell for more on Amazon. Now, there's a select few items that for some reason sell for way more on Amazon. And when I say a select few, I mean thousands and thousands of items. And this is the number one thing that I learned flipping from eBay to Amazon now that I've been doing this for over a year. eBay has endless opportunities. And I remember when I first started, I was like, man, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to find enough DVDs. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to find 300 DVDs a month, or 400 items a month, or 500 items a month. And the truth is, it's the easiest thing in the world. We got Gary Edwards in the house. I know Gary's doing some eBay to Amazon flipping as well, so it's great to see you in here. But that's the easiest part, is sourcing on eBay. It's so easy. There's so many different items. And I've met people like Kurt, who he did 50,000 last month. He's one of my students and one of the coaches in our eBay mentorship. He did 50,000 last month flipping from eBay to Amazon. And he just had a kid. He has a family. And guess what? It's all merchant fulfilled. And he does very high ticket electronics and a whole bunch of different items, right? So I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then, I met my buddy Jeff. He's in the masterclass as well. He does a bunch of tools and stuff. I don't know anything about tools. And then I got my good friend Josiah and Checkmate Flips. They're doing 50 to 100 grand a month. They're doing electronics and health and beauty. One of my students, George, he does health and beauty and supplements and all different types of items. There's so many opportunities out there. It's absolutely crazy. We got Romer the Roamer in the house. He does another form of online arbitrage outside of eBay. I know I'm not going to tell everyone what the item is, but it was a health and beauty item. How much did you sell over the last month of that, Avery? Wasn't it like $40,000 worth of just one product that you bought online, got shipped to your house, and you sold? If you're not following Romer the Roamer, give him a follow. Yeah, $40,000, one item, which is insane. So the opportunities are endless. And every time I think I know what I'm doing with online arbitrage, I realize I don't know anything, right? And that's a good thing. There's so much opportunity. There's so much to learn. There's so many different items that you could flip. Every time I think I know what I'm doing, like I'm the man, I got this, like, oh man, I know it all. And it's like, I don't know anything, which is fantastic because I've done 50 grand over the last 30 days doing this with around a 30% margin. And there's so many opportunities. It's a blue ocean right now. And you know, I had received a comment recently like, why are you and Avery not doing books anymore? Like, it's confusing me. Like, you said books was the best and now you're doing online arbitrage. Books is the best for beginners. Books is the best for someone who has no experience. Books are even great for people who want to scale, right? I know Avery just partnered up with a guy who, what does he do, Avery? Was he doing like 2 or 3 million with books? What's his name? He spoke at the conference, or 10 million. I don't know. He's crazy. But there's a ton of different opportunities with books. But the thing that I like after my car accident is I didn't want to have to go out to thrift stores and garage sales and receive pallets with the restock limits. I wanted items to come directly to me. Okay, so he's doing 5 million a year. He partnered with Restricted Inventory, which is crazy. So books are fantastic, and I source books from eBay to Amazon, but you can do any model, right? Any type of product, but I recommend starting with books. So there's endless opportunities out there. I want to shout out my girl, Amanda. She had her first eBay to Amazon flip. It was a DVD, and don't quote me on this, but I think she paid like 15 or 17. I know she posted it in the group and sold it for, what was it, 75, which was nuts. I don't usually flip items with that high of an ROI, but that was crazy. And I sent her a message, and I think she's done like 30 or 40. I remember her first flip was, I think, a little before Thanksgiving or so. My turnover rate is between 40 to 50%. It's around 45% right now. As I scale, it's getting a little less because my team and I are making mistakes and learning from mistakes, and we're experimenting and doing different things, but it's really high. It's absolutely fantastic. And that's one of the things I love about eBay to Amazon and just online arbitrage in general is you can cherry pick the items and you don't have to lower your standards, right? Who here has ever gone to a thrift store and you're like, oh man, I've been out for 5, 6, 7 hours. Like, I got to make my bottom line profit. I guess I'll start picking up books that make $2 or $3 or $4 profit because the rank's good. But now you're dealing with a ton of volume and it's a lot of low profit stuff. And it's like, now, you know, you're having to lower your standards because you're only having the ability to source what's available. When you're doing traditional OA or you're doing eBay to Amazon like I am, literally the opportunities are endless. And if you build yourself a team of virtual assistants like I have now, I have over 5 VAs that do a bunch of different things. Oh my God, is this girl gonna slam into my car? People scare me. When I'm making these videos in parking lots, you get to see how stupid people are. This person just smacked into someone else's car now, so I apologize for the noise, but the opportunities are endless. And I can tell you right now, the easiest part of online arbitrage is sourcing. If you're thinking, I don't want to do online arbitrage because I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to find enough products. Come on, let's put off our alarm now. You're messing up the Rake and Profit video. There we go, there we go. But if your limiting belief is like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find enough products to scale, there's too much competition, that's the last problem that you're gonna have. The biggest challenge, and this is a little bonus, of running a business is actually the day-to-day operations of actually running a business. That's the hardest part, staying consistent with shipping and pricing and managing your team and dealing with, you know, just Amazon in general and repricing and, you know, managing your spend and your leads list and your replens list, all the different day-to-day things, accounting, bookkeeping. There's just a lot that goes into the business. That's the hardest part. But the number one reason why people don't scale their reselling business is they can't find enough product. And that's what this solves with eBay to Amazon. And I want to say, for anybody who wants to learn about this, I have a webinar that's coming up. It is coming up next Wednesday, I believe December 14th. It's going down at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll drop a link to that down below. It's going to be really insightful. I'm going to share how I've been able to earn over $12,000 a month profit. I've built it up to that over the last year. And yeah, these last 30 days is probably more than that actually, but that was last month. And I always post my numbers on Instagram if you want to check that out. So that's lesson number one. There's endless opportunities. Lesson number two, you got to do whatever you can to win the buy box. Winning the buy box is so important. I've actually been spending the last couple of weeks really diving into the products of mine that haven't been selling. And I think I had like 200 or 300 out of my 2,500 in inventory that were sitting for like 5 or 6 months or more. And I was trying to figure out why these items weren't selling. And the number one thing that I learned was they just weren't winning the buy box. And there's a couple reasons why you may not win the buy box. There's a lot, but I'm going to share like the main reasons, assuming you're an FBA seller and you have good feedback. The first one is you're repricing your items incorrectly. So with Be Cool, there's a minimum and a maximum price. And if you don't set up your repricer to be able to drop outside of those parameters based on things that happen over certain periods of time, you're just not going to win the buy box. Also, there's some products for one reason or another, and I don't know why this is the case. I could be priced correctly. My repricer could be within range. I have good feedback. I don't have any health issues or anything like that. I'm an FBA seller. I've got an account that's 8 years old. I sell a lot of the same products. So you'd think Amazon would have trust in me for that category. But for one reason or another, there's just certain ASINs I don't win the buy box on. And Amazon's not competing with me. So maybe for some reason, Amazon wants to give the buy box to another seller. I noticed that in some listings, there were like big sellers on it with a ton of feedback and they would win the buy box more than me. So, maybe in those situations, I really have to undercut them. Also, I've learned that suppressed buy boxes hurt conversions. So if you don't know, 80 to 85% of sales are going to come through the buy box. And sometimes Amazon doesn't like the price of an item, or for whatever reason, they suppress the buy box. That hurts sales. Also, there's just certain items that are really slow sellers, and I just don't win the buy box as much. So I'm really trying to focus on products where I win the buy box because they just sell much quicker and they convert much better. So that's lesson number two. So lesson number one, there's endless opportunities flipping from eBay to Amazon. And again, I'll cover that in the webinar. I'll put the link down below. Number two, do whatever you can to win the buy box. Get yourself a repricer. My repricer has done, I think, over $75,000 in sales just in the last 4 months from the repricer. Best investment ever. And if you want to check that out, you can get a free 30-day trial at rakeandprofit.com/becool. Number three, this is the biggest lesson. You have to do whatever you can to keep your account safe. A lot of gurus and a lot of people will try to sell you a dream, and they just want to name off all the amazing things with the business, but there's always one or two things with every single business that suck. There's always one or two Armageddon events that could occur that could put you out of business. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. They'll sell you the dream, but then you'll get in it and be like, there's one or two things that really, really suck about this business. And the biggest risk when it comes to this business, flipping from eBay to Amazon or thrifting or garage sales, is going to be that you don't have legitimate invoices. So if you go to a thrift store and you buy an item and you sell it and, for one reason or another, you get an IP complaint and Amazon wants an invoice, you're not going to be able to prove it. The same if your inventory gets lost and Amazon says, we never got it, or it got lost or whatever, give us an invoice. You don't have that, right? In terms of IP complaints, the number one piece of advice I can give you is to get yourself some softwares to be able to prevent IP claims, and also really study the Keepa charts. Take a look at, are there any big drops going on in Keepa? Is the brand on the listing? If the brand's not on the listing, go take a look in the offers tab and see if the brand has ever been on the listing, because maybe they're out of stock, and if they come back in stock, you better believe they're going to try to kick you off of that listing. So keeping your account safe is everything. A lot of people are scared to start eBay to Amazon because they're like, I'm going to get kicked off and I'm going to get banned, and oh my God, there's no way this is going to last, da 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 da. Like, if you're so scared, just sell used items. I sell mostly new items. Used items will be a little bit less risky, but I've heard of people getting IP complaints and counterfeit claims with used and new. So really, you want to do your research to make sure you're not selling items that are so ridiculously popular that you would probably be a target, or dealing with items that you don't understand how to identify as real or fake. You know, I deal with a very highly counterfeited category of DVDs, and I've had to spend a lot of time learning what to do, what not to do. And again, in the webinar, I'll share more about this. But when it comes to DVDs, you know, I'm not messing with anything less than 10,000 rank. I'm not dealing with the super popular stuff. I'm not dealing with the DVDs where Amazon's on the listing and they're selling really fast. And, you know, the companies would probably want to come after you if there were fakes or bootlegs. Like, I'm dealing with a lot of older, discontinued stuff. And I'm kind of flying under the radar, I feel like. I'm not dealing with super hot, popular products, okay? You know, I think there's a lot of opportunities with popular products. I just haven't gotten there yet. I've experimented with a couple of them. But, you know, you got to keep your account safe because there are risks involved with this model. Lesson number 4, if you want to make more, you got to spend more. Now, when you're a beginner and if you don't have that much experience, start slow. Start, you know, picking up a couple of items, flip 1, 2 items a week. Like my student Amanda did. She flipped her first item, and now I think it's been what? It's been a month and a half. She's done like 40 flips from eBay to Amazon. Start slow, build things up, make some mistakes on a budget. People are going to tell you, oh, it's going to be perfect. You're not going to make mistakes. That's a bunch of baloney. There ain't no business out there where you're not going to at least lose some money from time to time and make some mistakes. And, you know, it's just part of the game. That's why I say start slow. Really learn to master Keepa. I can't say this enough. This was another one of my lessons. Looking back at some of my bad buys from, you know, February and March and April, it was because I didn't fully understand Keepa to the level that I do now. I thought I understood Keepa. I didn't know anything about Keepa, right? In terms of what's really, really important. So there's a ton of things you need to know about Keepa. I'll be covering these in the webinar that's coming up on the 14th. But I'll tell you right now, pay attention to the offers tab. Pay attention to who's winning the buy box and the trends and the number of competitors. And, you know, just pay attention to Keepa. You need to make smart decisions. Don't buy something because the market is, you know, the buy box is at 50 and the lowest price is 50 and, oh, I could get 50 because the rank is good and it's selling a ton. The market may be there right now, but it could be completely different tomorrow or next week. So you really have to dive into the data. But back to my main point, the more that I spend and the more that I build my inventory, the more I'm going to sell. Now, the last lesson I learned is you can't just spend more to make money. You have to make more money. You have to spend more on products that are, you know, going to win the buy box, that are going to turn over, that have a good profit margin, that you're making a good ROI, that you're putting your capital to good use. There's a lot that goes into it. But spending more money on products that are slow sellers, that don't turn, that don't win the buy box, that are maybe highly counterfeited, or you're having a lot of issues and you're getting claims and this and that, you're setting your business up for failure. So the only reason I was able to scale my business from, you know, 5 to 10K a month, which actually in the beginning it was 0 eBay to Amazon, from 0 to 50K now because I'm like 98% eBay to Amazon. The only 5 reasons I was able to do that was 1, I was able to find a ton of products and there's endless opportunities. 2, I was winning the buy box. I got a repricer set up. Number 3, I was keeping my account safe. I wasn't getting cocky. I wasn't getting greedy. I wasn't just buying something because it was going to make a 200% ROI. I wanted to keep my account safe. Number 4, I was spending more money. And number 5, I was spending more money on items that had a good sell-through rate, that were winning the buy box, that were flipping really nicely. I was doing my research in Keepa. I had a good ROI. I had a good profit margin. And that's how I've been able to get to where I am now. And, you know, there's still so much to learn. I'm assuming I'm probably going to look back, because I always do this. I'm going to probably look back at the end of 2023 and be like, I didn't know anything in 2022. And I'm excited for that. I'm pumped up to take you all on this journey. And I'm excited to just be vulnerable with my journey, to share, you know, my wins, my losses, my ups and my downs. I'll be coming to you guys with a goals video, hopefully soon, sharing some goals, because I definitely have some big goals for my Amazon business. I think I was kind of briefly sketching out some ideas, but I'm thinking maybe consistently doing like 60 to 80K a month would be really cool. A big goal is I got to lose weight. I put so much freaking weight on. Like, I made a video like a month and a half ago, like I gained 30 pounds. Like, I ended up putting more weight on. It's been getting really bad. That's kind of out of control. And I just got some issues and challenges that I'm dealing with behind the scenes. Someone put out a video the other day about me saying, like, you think you're some hotshot reseller and you make all this money and you make yourself seem like you're perfect. And I'm like, I responded, I was like, really? Like, I feel like I'm shitting on myself all the time. Like, I have so many issues and challenges, and all because I grew my business to 50K a month doesn't mean I have all my other areas of my life in line. Like, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm progressing. Some things do well, and then other times I let the ball go in other areas. So I'm still growing and learning and doing the best that I possibly can to, just be a better human being and improve and learn from my mistakes. But yeah, with that being said, I just want to thank everybody for watching this video, and I'll shout some people out. We got Megan in the house. We got Bluefin. What's going on? Good to see you. We got Rhett in the house. Angela says, when you get a chance, check your messages. I found a DVD to use to get ungated. I want your thoughts. I will check that out, Angela. Kevin, great to see you. Appreciate you being here. We got Hungry Gamer in the house. Who wants a shout out? You just got yourself a shout out. But yeah, I'm excited. Things are going really well. I'm pumped up. I'm just about to hit 50K today. I guess I'm saying it a little prematurely, but I'm like a couple $100 away. So we're almost there. We'll hit $500 in sales in the next couple of hours. Denise, appreciate you. Looking forward to it. And I want to know, leave a comment now or afterwards. If you're coming to the webinar on December 14th, let me know. It's only $7. It's going to be very educational. I got a ton of information that I'm going to be sharing, and I'm just really, really looking forward to breaking it all down and giving you guys a lot of value and helping you guys. There's a lot of opportunities coming up in the next year, and you just got to jump on it and take action. So with that being said, appreciate you all. Shane is coming. That is fantastic. It's going to be awesome. Denise, come into the webinar. Here we go. Hungry Games says, can't wait for your masterclass. I'm looking to transition into eBay to Amazon, currently at 10K a month with bad profit margins. Send me a message as well, Hunger Games, at Rakin Profit on Instagram. Would love to chit chat and hear about, what did you do to get to 10K a month? What are you struggling with? Why are your margins so low? I'd be curious. You're probably doing like more traditional traditional online arbitrage. Denise says, going to turn $7 into $7 million. No, you're not. That's a Kevin David line though, right? You guys heard about Kevin David getting sued for what, $3 million? I'm trying to do the opposite. Like, even on my webinar, there's a part of the webinar I was writing out today where I I go into the risks of eBay to Amazon, and I share some of the downsides of it, because there's downsides in every business, right? Don't let anybody sell you a dream and make it seem like there ain't no business model on Amazon that's 100% safe, right? Like, for example, the downside of eBay to Amazon is you have no wholesale invoices. Okay, we'll go into wholesale. What are the downsides to wholesale? Now you need a bunch of money. You got to negotiate with all these suppliers. You got a bunch of money coming in and out, and you have wholesale invoices, but your margins are much less. And there's just, every single model has pros and cons, right? So don't let anybody make it seem like one is better than another. Like, there's pros and cons. You got to find what's best for you. So with that being said, much love, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.